Hello and welcome to Dario's Tabletop, and today we will take a look at the Battlefleet Gothic Remastered Rulebook. And what do I have to say? It's a beautiful book, and if you're thinking about printing it out, maybe I have to freehand this one a bit. If you're thinking about printing this out, it might be a good idea. This one is the hardcover. My good friend Jürgen printed it out. As you can see, it's a fat book, and there's also the fleet book. And this one is the rule book, and then there is the book about the fleets. And I will show you this one today. And should you print out the fleet book, I think this is roughly 200 pages. And the fleet book is 650 pages, and in the fleet book you have pretty much every fleet, like Imperial Navy, Orcs, Eldar, everything, Chaos, pretty much everything, I would say. Necrons is in there too. And let me read you this passage. Incoming orders, fleet to assemble. Man has to learn to embrace war as its religion. Billions take up arms against a galaxy of foes. Great ships sail the void, their guns charge to rain death upon the enemies of the God Emperor. This, the age of the Imperium. The age of the Imperium, a time of war and carnage among the stars. A great fleet and mighty armies, selfless heroism and blackest infamy. So this book provides you with all the core rules to play from the Battlefleet Gothic, based on the 2007 digital rules and updated with the 2010 FAQ and compendium. Yep. And then it says that you need still the fleet book for completion. But yeah. This is where we start. I hope the lighting is good. It's snowing today, and yeah, here you have it. Battlefleet Gothic Remastered. I will read the first passage because I think it's important. Many thanks to the original designers who worked on this game. You created something wonderful. Game design and development: Andy Chambers, Gavin Thorpe, Jarvis Johnson, Matt Caffey, Andy Hall, Pete Haynes, Tim Addock, Warwick Kinraid. Original art: John Blanche, Alex Boyd, Wayne England, a great hero of mine, John Blanche too, Dan Hinley, Neil Hoxton, Nuala Kennedy, Paul Smith, also really good, John Weekly. And yeah, then also this book, and I have to say, before I go into showing you all of the fun pages, if I would be a good YouTuber, I would start somewhere here. But you can jump forward in the video if you want to see something really cool, something really special. I will cover this. And I have to say, the older books, the books from, let's say, late 90s, early 2000s, and how the community writes these books or assembles these books or treats these books, it is completely different than the ones I have read lately. Like last year, I think I have read the Heresy 2.0 book, and I think it was written terribly. It felt lifeless. It felt like AI had written it, and if AI had written it, it would have had a bit more soul than it had. That's my critique point. And I will read you this passage, and I will also show you here the credits for a second, because this is not an official Games Workshop publication. So whoever created this, they will give credit to the original creators. Then they will also point out where they took their sources from, and so on. And it's really great stuff. And then I could read you this passage, but this passage alone, like this page, really sets the tone. And I think wherever you have, wait a second, wherever you have this Warhammer logo, this is true Warhammer, I would say. I think when they change the logo, it is like something you have Blizzard North, the guys similar to Blizzard North, the guys who created Diablo 1, Diablo 2, StarCraft 1, and then at a certain point it's Blizzard Activision, and it's a completely different beast. It is an empire in decline, and I think once you have the new Warhammer logo, sure, things are still fine, but it's not the same. And yeah, so and this one also I think came out in a similar time as Wartime, and it will reflect this also in the ballsiness of the rules, but also in how this is the structure of it. Like it is the game is pretty, I wouldn't say simple, but it has a certain simplicity, elegance, ballsiness, and I miss that today. Today, it's either super simple and flawed, or it is too complex and re-roll everything. And this one just has like a fine cuisine, the right touch. Like this was cooked by a chef who knew what he was doing. And so, wait a second. Let's read just this one. I'm sorry that we're 6 minutes in, but just there's so much life in this. And I mean, this came out in the 2000s, and now we have 2026 on my Casio watch. So I will read this. It has been thousand years since mankind returned to the stars to reclaim that which was lost in the cataclysmic wars of the Age of Strife. Led by the immortal God Emperor and his sacred primarchs 10 millennia ago, mankind rose again from the mire of barbarism and cast back the darkness in the legendary times of the Great Crusade. A new age was forged, the age of the Imperium. The glittering achievements of the dark age of technology have been all but lost, obscured by uncounted centuries of superstition and fear. The worlds of man are scattered across the galaxy, with vast gulfs of wilderness space separating one from another. But the age of the Imperium has cast the Emperor's divine light across a million worlds. It has established an iron regime only maintained through flesh and blood, endless toil, monumental sacrifice, and unthinking loyalty to distant terror. Man has learned to embrace war as its religion. Billions takes up arms against a galaxy of foes. Great ships sail the void, their gun charged to rain death upon the enemies of the God Emperor. Still, it is not enough to guard the fragile walls of man from a cruel and uncaring universe. Still, it is not enough to guard against the unnumbered horrors which lurk upon the forgotten worlds, the alien races which prey upon the scattered outposts of humanity, and the heretics who dare to defy the Emperor's will. And even dire threats pale before the ancient and implacable hatred of the traitors who took up arms against the emperors in the earliest days of the Imperium. Traitors who gave their worship to the dark and terrible gods which dwell in the realm of chaos. Traitors who wounded the immortal emperor unto death and forced him to seek solace upon the golden throne, from where he ruled still, his essence maintained only by the sacrifice of supplicants from across his vast realm. By the Emperor's supreme sacrifice, these minions of evil were defeated and driven forth from the sight of man to join with their foul masters in the outer dark. 10,000 years has not slaked their thirst for vengeance, and their plots to bring ruin upon mankind are pursued with undimmed malice. This is the age of the Imperium, a time of war and carnage, among the stars of great fleets and mighty armies, selfless heroism and the blackest infamy. If you dare enter these dark times, read on. And I butchered it probably, but I can feel this. And then boom, you get the introduction page. And yeah, sorry for the 10-minute introduction, but you get a solid book where I would say I will show you through it, where like you get a couple of pages, I would say, of fluff. It talks mostly about the warp space, the Imperial Navy, the Eye of Terror, and then it goes a bit into the lore, but not super much. As you can see, like the lore, I would say 10, 20 pages of it, maybe a bit less. It goes into the Blackstone Fortress. The war continues, so it gives you a bit of the introduction. It shows you a bit of the ships and all of their story. And then once this is over, which should be in a couple of pages, that's it. Have you seen? That was the fluff, and that's totally cool. I mean, there are people that are not in the fluff. I love fluff. I need it. So I respect it if you don't need it. Well, I really don't respect it if you don't need it, but what am I to do? So there was the fluff, and then there are the rules. And then you will come to your first principle, and it will talk about scale, 3D printing or not, what you will need. I will put this down if I can, so that we have better quality. We'll see. Maybe we can set it up this way. And then it talks about the setup, ship types, your weapon types, port, lands, like you have your cruiser, the speed of it, how many times it can turn, turrets, and all of that stuff. It goes into leadership. I like that very much because the lethality of the game is okay. It is not that you can kill with one ship every ship. So you can take a few punches and dish out a few punches, and sometimes you will fail your leadership, and you will not be able to do all of the things you wanted to do. Then there are the special orders. There are 6 special orders. You can go full ahead. You can do a second turning. You can slow down your ship with your burn retros. You can lock on target, which means that you're not able to steer, as you will see right here. But you will just drift, but you will lock on target. So whatever you shoot, you can reload ordnance in case you want to reload your torpedoes or your ship base. Brace for impact. When you brace for impact, you're not as effective, but you gain a 4-up invulnerable save. And then what else? So turn sequence, the turn. And it's pretty elegant. This is where I see the similarities to something like Wartime, where it's the movement phase, the shooting phase, the ordnance phase, the end phase. I mean, you have that in every game, but it is very slim here. It plays very smoothly. As I said, it is simple, but it is still deep. You got your basic moves, your move distance that your ship has to move before it can do anything. Then it goes into turning, ramming. Then we are in the shooting phase again. Very, very like range, fire arcs. What else? Then firing different weapons like lances. I would say the lances are the lasguns. They are called here lances. Then you have the weapon batteries. Then you have here your table. What ships will hit on which trajectory. Then we come to damage, taking hits, your hit points. I would say the big ships have like 8 hit points, and once you go to half of that hit points, your ship is crippled, and so you will lose stuff. That's pretty cool. Then you get to critical hits. Every time I think you roll a 6 on a wounding chart, you can see if you're critting, you roll 2d6 and then you will see what happens. Could be that thrusters are damaged, or that your fire or engine room is damaged, or shields collapse, like really, really cool stuff. Then it goes into blast markers. Also very important, shield, catastrophic damage. The Ordnance Phase, this is where your small ships are started, or where your torpedoes are launched. So this is a phase where all the small stuff is moving. You can shoot at the ordnance with your turrets, type of ordnance. What else? You got fighters, you got combat patrol, you got bombers, you got drop ships, or here they are called assault boats, which I love. They are really, really cool. Then we'll see, where are we? Then we are in the end phase. In the end phase, usually, I guess, blast markers will be cleaned up, or some of them will be cleaned up. And yeah, I don't know, in the end phase. And I think that's almost it. Where are we now? Now we're into squadrons. Now, I would say that was the core rules. Now we're into squadrons. Here you can put together, like you can have your small ships like this, or you can put them into squadrons. Then they can support each other, which is very good. So you get a squadron bit, planetary defenses. You can have some planetary defenses. Then you got the battlefield. And what else? Battle zones. And I think we're now into putting together the table. Asteroid fields, warp rifts, planets, moons, whatever you want on your table. Could be also called the terrain. Tabletop effects. I think these are some additional thing. Flying in low orbit. What else? And let me see. So, and then we come into the scenarios, and here you get, I would say, how many scenarios do we got? Here it's about the renown, and yeah. Scenario 1, scenario alternatives, scenario 2, debate, scenario 3, the raiders. So really, really great stuff. Blockade run, surprise attack, and it's really good. It gives you enough. It gives you 6 scenarios, or does it give you more? It gives you 7 scenarios, even 8. So plenty of games to play. Even 9, 10, come on, give me 11 and 12, I'm pretty sure. Well, it gives you 10. It gives you 10 scenarios, and then you're into campaign rules. And we will soon start a campaign, and your ships will get damaged. It's a bit like Wartime or Necromunda, where your ships will get damaged. Some crews will rise in their faculty. Some will diminish, and you have to manage. And it's pretty cool. So you get also how that is done, and yeah. So it's pretty cool book. What else? Renown. Mostly it's about your renown. So it's not about cash or money. It is purely about the general who leads the battle. Then Here you get the Gothic sector. It could be that we're playing like I start here and my opponent start here, and then you can capture different sectors and you will spread out, but you can again also some benefits and all of that stuff. And then there are two, I don't know, what is this? Two different campaigns, and one is the Armageddon War. Let me see if we can get this way. One is the Armageddon War, and the second big campaign, I think, will be Abaddon's 13th Crusade. And then this book will end, and yeah, here you get the Armageddon sector. And then also here you get scenarios, 3 scenarios, and then you get here Abaddon's 13th Black Crusade. And I would assume also here you get 3 scenarios, and yeah, it's pretty great stuff. Chance encounter, rearguard, attack, alien intervention, even a 4th, a 5th, a 6th. So this one is a bit longer, a 7th. Man, this book just keeps coming. And then Andy Chambers' notes, and that's it. That's the book. So yeah, I just wanted to give you, I would say, a rather quick overview in 20 minutes. I hope you kind of found it interesting and helpful. My friend printed this one here in Germany at a digital printer. It's called Wir machen Druck. And I think this was like $25. He even included this thing here for a few dollars more. And I'm sure you'll be able to do that wherever you live. And if you're not able to do it, I'm sure you have a friend or somebody at your local game store who knows how to do it. Yeah, and have fun playing a great game. I would say this one is peak GW, a great game for the ages. Yeah, what else can I say? Have fun with Battlefleet Gothic. We see us soon.